Thank you so much, guys. I love people. I love meeting new people. So it's good to be here. All these new faces for me. My name is Khalid, and I was born in Iraq. And I think it's been almost 2 years. I'm here in Netherlands, and mostly in Rotterdam. I'm not sure if I'm a filmmaker because I just tried this an humble attempt to do something about my more like a personal story also, but I can say that it also talks for many other people that I know. Yeah, also relate to the theme and the movie. I prepared 2 questions for you guys. If you can think about it for a moment, and if you want to answer one of them. Yes, please.
Yes, feeling free. I can really relate to that because I sent away my daughter to daycare and I feel free. And I have space for creativity. And she's away. This morning. I think about her, but also finally this day comes.
Perfect. Do you have time for writing?
Yes.
Yeah. I would like you guys to write this, like maybe a short answer for one of these questions or both if you want, and then we're gonna come back to them after the movie. Don't know. Can I help with something?
So it was less.
Everyone has
Can you take care of time because I can get lost? Do you have time?
so 5 minutes.
Okay. After 5 minutes, we can start. Okay. Give me a sign. Or maybe get away.
Point that is yeah.
Try a new one. No, I was like, try a new one.
They're all like this?
The two.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes.
Let's try now, yeah. Yeah. Can you try now? If there's I can bring another.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys can wrap it up. Um, now we're gonna watch the short movie and gonna get back to you after. Does it work? Should I press this one for playing?
Still the big one, big button.
I don't know.
We're gonna cut the lights, okay?
Yeah. Should I do it? Okay.
Nice one.
Of course, we tried it before and it works.
J'aime, je peux ce qu'il est noir, Xixi da capucha, a água que ele deixa funda. Silahım, Rotterdam. Este é o pastor que hoje com Sicília, terreno Khalid. Este é hoje que viajar Shiva Fatim. Love favorite. Caramel salinho. lastikeren onze خانه سرد سانی این که زنجوان ما بخرد ازدیمن onze خانه خورد که فهمت یک عاشقی سیدنی جمعنت onze خانه بگیم حوالت میشه که هم گرفتم از من گرفت که اولم خلق کنور اول پشتیم یک ببینم جردیم اینی برش رو داخل جلد بوده بچکو دیمی بچکو بندر خود ای ارمان ببین جهگه بوده کچی که از پناهخواه که بیرون کار بری اف اوده بتا شکشت بگو یه مخصی چیز ایرو تخت شبان این علم همه از حبسة عظيم تناول العراق ذات سنين كانت بحبس كامل الفنجان كان لديش كدي أثناء العراق هل ضربة الصالح عراق النار اشتكت كان جواب معك أرجوك دي أخواتك كدنا يكودين هرچند تشتكي حوزش نبمدني حسن تشتكي فيك خیلی جمهور بایستی و از خواجه بشرطنی بشر از جهانت دیجیتال وقتی فرصة حال الإنسان از وجه خال المنطقة بيجن اشتكينا وكذي اللي از خوشی خواه بریزم خواه از این خوشی بریزم تشتكي مباني وترتاح السكينة هرجع میگش میذکر تازم دنیا در بگردیم دیگر هنگ صدمه معمولیتی وسخواه كوجي بيو خوجي تربستم اون ارزشا اف خلالك بشا شبشت اشترماي اوانيش بنا وشت دايو او فكرة ما تسهيلك شوي بصلاة عبد جدي محمد بكتني مجبور من خود شاب بشر
Vigiando os olhos, esperar pela formação mesmo no coração. Nada mais a que este fazer. Já não está raciocínio, mas acaba o respeito à terra. A história vai ter a queixa. Esta caminhar a lua, se vai dar em cada década. حتى يكون أستوليها وتعظيما حتى نزل أبدأ كبيرة أشتغل تعزمي سبيل ساعة
Can I get back to the other slide? Oh, now I was wondering how would you answer the questions again, like after watching the movie? Maybe fold your previous answer and write a new one. And if later you can share what was the difference.
It's the Q&A, yeah.
Good. This too.
Someone to share the replies. Or you give it time to rethink.
Oh yeah, this is the morning today.
How do you think it's going to serve the event?
I think we can ask someone if they want to share.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, if any of you guys want to just share your answer, like that you have. Yes, please.
It's kind of related to what we watched, in fact. What I wrote is creativity is related to freedom for me, but it does not always emerge from feeling free. Sometimes it's the opposite. It can also be an act of rebellion when I feel trapped and need to find back my freedom. It's about inner freedom more than anything else. It's the access to a place within myself that nobody can ever take away from me, even in the most confined and constrained external conditions. Creativity is the freedom of the mind.
I like that one. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
For the first question, I wrote, I believe creativity is the highest power. God, if you want to name it. And it lies both at the very instinct of who we are and at the very height of who we are with art, creation, for example. So to create, or creativity, is literally life itself. And so whenever I create, I'm reminded by this connection between God, my higher self, and my grounded instinct. And this is where you can find freedom.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Someone else this way.
Yes, please.
Well, for the first question, I initially wrote, I don't remember the feeling of being free. So then after watching that movie, Rotterdam offers a chance for me to be free, to be myself.
Mm.
And I really like the weather in Rotterdam too, in Holland.
Yeah. I do actually. Yes.
For me, I'd say problem solving, creative problem solving. Usually the problems kind of like that confine me into a specific spot. Finding new solutions that are completely out of the box, creative, are usually what's bringing me the feeling of freedom.
Mm. Yeah. I can relate to that actually. Yeah. That's good. Anybody else? Yes.
I thought of it more practically in that where I grew up in, like, the culture that I come from, creativity is not really a hard skill, or it's not something that you aspire to. It's a hobby. And so it's only later in life, or like when I had, let's say, the hard skills on the job and everything set up, that I could express myself more creatively in other spaces or in other skills. And I wonder if that's something that you can like relate to as well, where it's like it was a hardship that made maybe creativity an outlet for you, and then a space for you to have a voice and stuff like this, and maybe eventually a career. So like mixing the creativity with the practicality of are you allowed to be creative?
Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure how much time do we have.
Yeah, well, I want to say something about vulnerability.
Yes.
Maybe it's not strictly related to creativity, but for me, I learned, I grew up thinking that people need to be strong and have this hard shell, and I was always very soft and very emotional. And for me, seeing someone vulnerable is giving me a lot of strength, and it took time to understand that. But I think we should really embrace vulnerability and to show vulnerability, because it's such a good skill, and it's something that we can all relate to, and it's actually very, very powerful.
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to add to that, to the vulnerability part, because I really like to use my creativity also to put my vulnerable side in it, to help me cope with things, to help me deal with things, to get through them. And then the second part, the scary part, is sharing it. You know, I always have this sense of control, a bit of a control freak, also when it comes to what people think of me, of their opinions of me. But what I learned with like opening up, like sharing the vulnerable creativity, is that it actually creates beautiful connections. So people are like, I can appreciate you being vulnerable. You give words to my own silences, you know, and that's what I also have with artists I like. You know, they give words to my silences and words to things I don't know how to give words to. So to me, it really brought some beautiful connections. Also discovering like people appreciate this, and I do have a certain talent of like using my vulnerability to offer something to the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I was thinking about drawing, and I always aspire to be really like good and perfect, and it never works. And I felt like I cannot draw nice, so I started to draw ugly, and that really works, you know. So sometimes that imperfection makes you who you are, and that kind of go to the right places.
Yes.
I want to share something that inspired me. It's a quote from Brene Brown. It says, "Vulnerability is the core of shame and fear, and our struggle for worthiness, but it's also the birthplace of joy, creativity, belonging, and love." And I found that so beautiful because it was a TED Talk that she shared about vulnerability, and it talks about how people are afraid to put themselves out there because of their past experience of getting hurt or kind of getting shamed on, or all these fear kind of holds them back from being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share like my own experience with being vulnerable. Like I'm kind of grown up, raised that you don't want to affect others with your negative emotions, and I tend to shut myself in my room to cry, but then when I leave the house I'm always happy. So when I tell my friends I'm sad, they're like, how can you be sad? You're always happy. No, but like one time I was just going through a really difficult situation, and I'm an event planner, I host events. So I was hosting my own speedfriending event, and during the speedfriending event, I was participating too, and then one of the participants just asked me, how are you doing? She just asked, how are you doing? And I started crying, and I was like, actually not well. And I mean, I wasn't intentionally trying to be vulnerable, but because of what was going on, I couldn't hold myself back. But from that experience, she's also like, actually, I'm also having a tough time. So I think it's really cool how being vulnerable makes you build more intimate connections. And I think that's really powerful because everyone try to have a facade, hide their negative feelings because they don't want to affect others. Yeah. But when you share so openly like that, others can connect with you better. Yeah, and I think one of the things that I learned from my church is that when you're imperfect, you can connect better with others because nobody's perfect, and especially what's shown on social media these days, most people are having such perfect lives. But when we show imperfection and being vulnerable, that's when you make the deepest connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. That was a bit
Yeah.
long.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
I think we can go to the Q&A.
Okay. Oh,
So if you have any questions for Khalid, now it's your moment, or if you want to keep sharing, that's also fine. Go for it.
Yes. I loved the approach to the questions and the connection between vulnerability and creativity. I wonder if in your creative practice you've identified in which moments is it safe to be vulnerable when it comes to your creativity, and in which moments or spaces is it not ideal to show that level of vulnerability?
Good question.
To be honest, I'm still learning that. I can relate to, I'm not sure what was your name, the story.
Tiffany, sorry.
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
What Tiffany mentioned, I'm also grown up with like in a big family, in a very collective society, and it was always like, yeah, if you have something good, then share. If not, then keep it for yourself. So the way I was dealing like with sad moments, usually I was watching some Persian movies, cry for myself, take a nap, and then go out happy, just like that. Still, I'm very considerate how what I'm gonna share is gonna affect people around me. But I've also, just like all that you mentioned about vulnerability, I've kind of, I think in last 2 years I've learned that it also a space for connection, and you know, it's inspiring that we can see each other's essence through vulnerability. But yeah, I'm not there yet to know where to draw a line, but I'm learning. Yeah.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm building up the idea because at first I think I agree with Luis in these terms of how you present the questions and then show us the movie in a very reflective way. And there is a part where it says, I don't remember the exact line, but it says something about the problem that is hiding. And it's at the very beginning of the movie. And with what we've been sharing, I'm also wondering, like, okay, in the process of self-reflection, we are sometimes, or myself, very aware of how people are going to react or how it's going to affect the others when I share this and I'm vulnerable. But I think there is a layer perhaps also to being vulnerable within ourselves and accept, like, I'm sad, I need to manage this sadness.
Yeah.
So I wonder if in this creative process, when you decide to do the movie or build up on something, how do you deal with facing or the confrontation with your own feelings and not letting that stopping you and using it as I say, okay, this is something that I want to push beyond if it's affecting others or how others might react, because I think that's an interesting thought.
Yeah. Practically, there were a lot of restrictions because I live on a boat and I'm not allowed to have guests. That's why I did everything myself, and as you see, the quality is not that good. This is my first attempt, and also I was restricted how much should I share about my experience, because I shouldn't say anything about like that people on the boat that or anything against the government, whatever, because I'm also seeking asylum. And I was not allowed even to record everything. I did everything like in secret, and then showed to the hotel manager on the boat. I'm like, this is what I want to do, and I'm not saying anything against what's being served here. This is just like us personal story, if it's okay to share. She wasn't happy, but I was like, finally, I guess yes.
Promotion for the hotel.
No, the yeah,
Hotel.
It's not a hotel.
yeah. So I was planning like to get some help from friends to do the technical things for me, but I had to do everything myself. The other thing, yeah, at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna make everything about myself and my experience with this intergenerational trauma, but I also want to make it a bit broad so that other people can relate to it in different ways, because I could see that in other people on the boat and outside. I'm like, yeah. And the difficulty is when you are not aware of that. Like, I think it was easier for me because I knew the issue was there, and how was that limiting like my actions and decisions. Yes.
That was you in the video, the one that wasn't able to get out of the room? Was that?
No, those are two of my friends. I forced them to be in the movie.
Okay, I'm just curious, like, I don't know if you know people like that personally, but I want to ask, what would be one advice, if you have to just give one advice to these people, what would you say for them to help them kind of take that step to step out of the room? What would you say to them?
It's not easy, like from my experience, before like realizing that I'm having this issue, I would always come up with excuses. You know, I don't want to go to this event because of the weather, or it's far, or I don't like, you know, be with this many people. So inside there are like deeper reasons, but because when we are not aware of it, we can come up with other excuses for it. And the difficulty is I talked to my friends about this, but I couldn't figure out an easy way to let them like feel what I'm saying. They may say, oh yeah, it's a good idea, good tip, but yeah, they're gonna get back to default, to their fears. Yes.
What were you hoping to change with your questions? Because you asked us to write one thing in the beginning, watch the movie, and then
Yeah.
explain again.
I guess, so for the first question, I'm seeking asylum, and there's a lot of restriction to make, to discourage people from coming here. And you can feel like you are in a prison, but it's more about in your mind. If you feel free here, then because in another event I asked this question, would you rather to feel free and not be free, or feel free and not being free? And I think I could just give up to the situation, say like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait and not do anything, not be like interactive with locals, not contribute anything, but also like, okay, no. If I feel free in my head, then I can do more. So that's for the first question. And the second one is, I mean, it's very vulnerable story to share. But I was also, okay, I can be a mean for others to understand themselves. And also maybe I could build, I think I'm getting away from answering your question, but yeah, you know how, I think if I wouldn't dare to be vulnerable, I wouldn't come up with this, attempt for making a movie, because I had the idea for 7 months, and I was postponing, and then like I was part of a project, and everybody was doing something based on their skills or hobbies, and I guess I trapped myself with the idea of making this movie, and then I had to do everything in 1 week or 2. Yeah. Actually, I had the subtitles 2 hours before showing it. Yeah. Yes.
We have time for one more question.
You mentioned how you come from a more collective background, there's more really sense of community, and now you are in this community of asylum seekers, and as a bubble within the Dutch society, which is possibly more individualistic, I would argue. How does this relation to community affect your relation to your creativity? Do you think that these different levels, these different experiences with community and being part of a more collectivist society change?
I mean, there are pros and cons with even like both sides, like individual and collective. But I always was honest with myself that I love people. I need to be surrounded by people. So when I came here first, I started with attending churches. I'm going to church like to get to know people. And when after I feel like more safe, I, get to know other people. And now I'm more like, if you guys know about Dog House, I work there, and it's a lovely community, and I feel like I have a lot of amazing people around me. Yeah. And so far, my experience has been so wonderful. I think I've mentioned this in many places that this is the first place that I kind of feel very safe, very welcome, and I don't have this urge to run. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you.